Outpouring of grief here in Belgium to commemorate the 31 people who are known to have died from last week's catastrophic flooding. There are others still missing, particularly in the town of Pepinster, near the city of Liège, which was amongst the worst affected. Across the country today, on a national day of mourning, there has been a minute's silence at midday local time, with public transport services temporarily pausing their services to honour the victims. Flags here in the capital city of Brussels are flying at half-mast. There has been a visit to that town of Pepinster by the King and Queen of Belgium to meet those victims who have found that in just a short period of time their homes, businesses and communities have been completely destroyed. The King and Queen of Belgium paying tribute to the solidarity of those communities, to the emergency services who've worked round the clock in immensely difficult conditions to try and retrieve survivors and help in the huge clear-up operations. Meanwhile, in Germany, the death toll now running over 150. There has been a visit of the German Chancellor Angela Merkel and the state premier Armin Laschet to a village in North Rhine-Westphalia, which was the worst affected region. Dozens still missing there. Angela Merkel paying tribute to those communities who've been affected, and again to the emergency services working so hard to help rebuild and find survivors.
The situation for those who live here is partly horrible. Many places are not inhabitable anymore, and the only thing that gives some comfort is the huge solidarity with those who have lost relatives and friends, who are maybe still missing some.
There has been mounting anger both here in Belgium and in Germany about vulnerabilities in extreme weather warning systems, as well as evacuation procedures, as well as flood warning alert systems that some feel did not work effectively, and had they been in place properly could have prevented the death toll from reaching to nearly 200 in total. There has been, amid that criticism, a defence from the German government, who said that the extreme weather warnings and flood warning systems were effective, they were in place properly, and that the blame really has shifted to local authorities who failed to transmit those warnings to communities effectively, that there were people living in high-risk areas who didn't receive the text messages and alert systems that they needed to in order to evacuate in good time. We have heard from the Civil Protection Agency, who are saying that there will be siren systems in place for the potential of further flooding to ensure that people have the time to evacuate quickly. Lucy Hoff, SABC News, Brussels.